it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right. So, we'll start off with the citizen concerns. Any concerned citizens out there? Move on to the approval of the agenda. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That passes 5-0. Moving on to the consent agenda. Items 4 through 10 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Also, a reminder to silence cell phones, please. Item 4, approval of minutes of the June 17th, 2019 special meeting and approval of the minutes of the June 18th, 2019 special meeting, or regular meeting. Item 5, approval of claims. Item 6, from Board Administration, approval to reappoint John Mansfield and Emily Clayton to Veteran Affairs Commission. Item 7, from the Auditor's Office, receive appointments of Tim Skidmore and Denise Burkhart to the Salix City Council. And item 8 from Human Resources, approval of memorandum of personnel transactions. B, authorization to initiate hiring process. C, approval for the date and financial impact of the 2019 Annual Health and Wellness Fair. And item 9 from the auditor, approval of certification of cost allocation plan with cost advisory services. Item 10A, approval of permit to work in the county right-of-way of the city of Cushing. And B, approval of permit to work in the county right-of-way in the city of Cushing.
I'll move the consent agenda.
I'll second it. There's a motion by Taylor, second by Raddick. Any discussion on anything on the consent agenda? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that passes 5-0. That ends the consent agenda. Moving on to item 11. Jim, we have a presentation of Preservation Iowa Award for Woodbury County Courthouse webpage. Anybody else involved, please come on up there.
It's a long walk.
It is. It's almost as much as upstairs. All right. So here is the certification here, or certificate of recognition for preservation here. Thank you very much, and thank you for being involved as well.
This was part of the, obviously, the anniversary celebration. And you can't do it alone. I had the idea, and I always like to find people that are smarter than me sometimes and have some ideas. So I had the idea. Mark Munger, the director of Siouxland Public Media, helped. Jim Shop, author, local author, and Chris Simons, an amazing audiovisual guy. And John Malloy and his staff isn't here, but I showed him the award. I feel that this was the whole team that did it. And it's really, I'm going to try the Iowa Magazine next and get them interested and just keep moving it up. But it was a great process and good product. Mark?
Well, I thank you for letting us be involved. It was truly a privilege to do something involving this terrific building. It's such a treasure in our community and really much beyond our community. So to have my name at all attached to it is a real honor.
Thank you. Thank you both. Yes.
You bet.
All right. Anyone else want to say anything on that? I know it's a great.
Countless hours and very, very professional product, so it's a blessing to be able to have them.
It's cool to be a part of the building's history here. We're pretty temporary, but this building will be around hopefully long after we're gone, right? Item 12, Board Administration, approval of appropriation resolution for FY 2020. 2020, that's scary.
Okay, this is an official act we do as a board through a resolution appropriating the money to all the various departments and divisions within the county. We do this on the annual deal to be authorized to issue warrants after July 1st. We have to do this. Warrants means checks. We have to do this to do the final authorization. So the first one is appropriation resolution. This totals $58,264,501 is what our county budget is this coming year. And we broke it down to all the various departments here throughout the county by fund order and then by department division order. So this is all we need to do here is approve this resolution, and the board members have to sign it.
I will move the resolution.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Ung. Any questions on this? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. And we'll go to item B, approval of resolutions for inter-fund operating transfers for FY 2020. There's a bunch of them.
Okay, there are several here. We usually do these on an individual basis. The first one is a appropriation resolution from general supplemental, general basic for our fringe benefits, employee benefits, to a total of $6,663,384.
I'll move that one.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Taylor. Any discussion on that one? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
The next resolution is the Rural Basic Services Fund 2, the County Library Fund. This is the township share of our county library. The board levies on the townships and each individual city that belongs to the county library levies within their own budget. This totals $141,973.
I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Ung. Any discussion on that? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. Next one.
Next resolution is an annual transfer from rural basic to secondary roads. We do this on a semi-annual basis. It's $1,450,000. Represents the minimum levy for secondary roads.
And I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Ung. Any discussion on it? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
The next one is from gaming revenue funds to general basic fund. This is for property tax reduction. We are transferring $209,627.
I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion on it? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that passes 5-0. Next one, sir.
The next one is local option sales tax to rural basic fund. What this covers is the $271,280 for economic/community development department.
I will move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It passes 5-0.
Next one is local option sales tax to the rural basic fund, and this $39,000 covers our share of the soil conservation.
Move it.
individual.
I'll second it. Motion by DeWitt, second by Raddick. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
The next one is gaming revenue funds to the Sheriff's Training Center. I think this will be our second year, so we're almost halfway paid through this for the training center. After this next fiscal year, that's a sum of $74,344.
I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Next one is general basic fund to the emergency paramedic services fund. This is $128,565, which is half the cost because we levy the other half on another resolution coming up from rural basic. So this is the general basic fund to rural emergency paramedic services.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by Potabom. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Next one is rural basic fund to emergency paramedic service, the other half of the funding of this operation. That's $128,565.
I'll move it.
Second.
Motion by Raddick, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
Lastly, we've transferred $390,138 from tax increment fund to the debt service fund. This covers our TIF loan we did 2 years ago. And this will run for another 3 years, and that one will be paid off.
I'll move it.
Second. Motion by DeWitt, second by Radig. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0.
That's it.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Item 13, secondary roads. A, consider approval of federal aid swap project agreement for project number BRS SWAP 6012601-FF97.
Good afternoon. With the assistance of the City of Pearson, we were jointly successful in bringing some city bridge funds back to Woodbury County. This really helps us out. This is on a farm-to-market extension. Part of the road is Woodbury County, north half, south half belongs to the City of Pearson within their corporate limits. By using that federal aid money from the city bridge fund pool allows us to stretch our dollars and keep our federal dollars for the rural area bridges. As you know, we still have many to replace. So this is the first stage of that, to approve the agreement with the Department of Transportation. The total estimated cost is just $1,005,000. This provides 80% funding. Oh, I'm sorry. It provides, 80% of funding up to $1 million. So we would be on balance for the rest of it from our farm-to-market fund. I recommend approval of the agreement and direct the chair to sign same.
I will move that.
Second.
Is this something you were expecting to get?
It was something we had hoped to get. We filed a joint application for the money and then agreed with the city. We had put it in the 5-year program just in case the money came through, and we were fortunate enough that it did.
Sure thing. Sounds good.
So we also have an application pending for this same city on the east line of the city on Minnesota Avenue. We have a half mile that's unimproved there. We have a bridge that's jointly owned by the city and the county, and we're hoping that bridge funds will come through the program on that one as well. So
Well,
maybe in the next couple of years, we'll be bringing in another agreement for that one.
any questions or discussion on the item? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. So 13B, consider approval of the city-county agreement for project number, well, it's the same project, the FF97.
Right, and prior to that agreement, we need an agreement for construction with the city. Basically, they're bringing 80% of the dollars to the table. We're providing all the engineering, both design and construction engineering for the project. And in this agreement, we're also agreeing to pay the local match for the project. I recommend approval.
Any questions?
So moved.
All right, I'll second it. Motion by Taylor, second by Radig. All those in favor then, I guess, if no other questions, right? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. So right now, we're going to recess the Board of Supervisors meeting and convene Wolf Creek Drainage District Trustees meeting. Item 14, approval of the minutes of the June 18th, 2019 meeting. I'll move them.
Second.
Motion by Radig, second by DeWitt. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Passes 5-0. We'll adjourn the Wolf Creek Drainage District Trustees meeting and continue the Board of Supervisors meeting. Move on to item 15, report on committee meetings.
I got tied up at the end of the day.
Jeremy? Oh, yeah, you just got back.
I've been gone 3 weeks, but Rolling Hills is tomorrow, and we're looking at some transition as far as fund balance. That'll be a big thing with Two Rivers, and then an LAC expansion committee meeting, not just expansion, but looking at new prospect, 3 o'clock on Thursday. So that's basically all I've got.
Did we want to touch on the potential for partnerships moving forward, I think, on that too. I think that's really promising.
Were you at that meeting today?
I was not, but Dennis was, and I talked to Dennis on it, and basically, the city is interested in working together with us, and maybe even potentially another city within the county would be looking at that. And I think the more, as long as we're not getting too big, too lofty in our ideas, but the better partnerships we build, I think the better it'll be for all the residents.
Kenny had updated me similarly that it sounded like it was a very positive meeting. That's great. I mean, that has an impact on it. Sounds like a bond threshold, so.
Matthew?
Chairman Ragg and I attended Sioux Rivers today. It was an amicable meeting, our last meeting. There may be a final meeting to approve claims throughout the end of the month. The contract to ensure continuation of services at the Crisis Center was amended as mentioned last month. And Don Metzner was at the meeting as well. Was on the same page with everything said.
And there were cookies. Marty, did you have anything? Rocky? I had some Simcoe meetings. A lot of it was approving long-term planning and discussion on the CERTS facility that we're partnering with the DOT on and moving forward with that. And I think that's really exciting moving forward. This one's for the auditor, right?
Yes.
Okay. So other than that, yeah, Sioux Rivers, same thing Matthew said. It was pretty uneventful, but that's for the auditor. Is there? Did I miss one? Oh yeah, right next to it. Thank you. Moving on to citizen concerns, round 2.
I've got a couple things to share. The IJR report has been submitted to Iowa DOT. Their Office of Location and Design has concurred with a finding of no adverse effect in regard to any historic, environmental, or other issues. It's currently working its way through the chain at the DOT. As discussed at the last stakeholders meeting, the northernmost exit area was the one that was selected as the best alternative. We'll be hearing more over the upcoming months about where that project is headed based on final analysis by DOT and the Federal Highway Administration. Number 2 would be our staff has been working on a gravel road improvement program. Right now we've screened down to about 558 miles of road that have more than 25 vehicles a day on them. We're now cross-screening that with roads that have a home, hog confinement, or other building with an address on it. So we're really trying to hone in on those roads that have the heaviest traffic and the most need for improvement. That 558 number is going to grow because you notice some sizable gaps in some areas of the county where we have a road that it may be showing less than 25 vehicles per day current traffic count, but it's necessary to keep it in there and improve it to go along with the rest of the road system so that we have some continuity with that system. But we are working with Al Gates, our GIS coordinator, has been going through and helping us make those selections on those roads that we'll bring to you for an improvement program, along with the roads that we're going to bring to you with a recommendation for putting them in a level B system.
If you're done with that subject.
Yes, I am.
Does anybody have any questions for him on that?
I was just going to mention that I have noticed the guys have been out. I mean, the gravel roads I travel on from time to time are greatly improved.
Well, I think that's as much due to Mother Nature as
Right.
it is to our efforts. I mean, we can make them a lot better when we get a little bit of cooperation, and we're finally starting to get to that. So.
Right.
But anyway, Do you know what the DOT has got all the traffic counters out there on Correctionville Road for? Or is that a,
Yes, that is, I'm glad you brought that up.
They're everywhere
Because you'll see
right
a lot
now.
of hoses out on all the county roads, state roads, and city streets for the next 3 weeks roughly. Every 4 years, we get a traffic count done on our roads. Our last one was 2015. The 2019 count has commenced. 2019 is the year we get a complete count on our entire road system. I made requests for a number of routes to be sure that they're counted. Some they extrapolate based on other meters that are out there. The roads where we've had requests for dust control last year, the DOT will be counting those and adding them to the map. So, again, you'll be seeing those out there over the next 3 weeks, and they're not only in our system, but state and cities as well, including our small towns. And again, this is the year, every 4 years we get a partial count. Every 8 years we get a complete count. This is our complete count cycle.
thank you.
Thank you.
Those
I'm glad
checks,
you brought that up.
do they check speed too?
If you see 2 hoses out there,
Okay.
those check classification and speed. When you just see the single hose, all it's doing is every 2 bumps is counted as one vehicle. So the double hoses are capable of counting and discriminating whether it's a truck, for instance, 3 axles, 4 axles, or a semi at 5. So we don't see a lot of the classification counts on our system. Ours, the DOT Office of Transportation Inventory has counters on secondary roads that are set up continuously. Those are classification counters. They use that to adjust and estimate what our truck traffic is. I didn't have any roads where I specifically asked for a truck classification count. We really didn't have anything that was going to be pursuing that type of an upgrade. So.
Any other citizen concerns?
I learned today that you can't drive just in the left.
Although in some,
All over Michigan, for education center.
what are you talking on, like the interstate, or? I drive in the left lane all the time. I'm one of those people. Wow.
$80.
When did that come into effect? Whitman, we need a full report.
I know that the legislature, there was a truck driving state representative that actually introduced that bill this year, because I know that I read about it, but what it says is something about improper use of lane.
Huh. That's my preferred lane. I mean,
I
it
know,
gives
and I
more time
like
to
it.
see
Nobody
deer.
bothers me over there.
In North Dakota, they drive in the left lane, 'cause the right lane's so grooved they can't drive it, so they drive in the left lane.
Well, and there's roads all over Iowa like that too. The right lane's in disrepair, the left lane's still smooth. So you get an old car like mine, you really notice that. Board concerns, Jeremy. Matthew's concerned. No, he's not. Marty, Rocky, no one's concerned. I'm not concerned. We are adjourned.
talked about it, but he never got back to me, so I assumed we were busy, so. I'd rather have it when the support staff's there. Okay. Because there's things that can go wrong with that whole system. Sure. We could, I think, next week would work. Sure. I love your efficiency of teaching. Oh, yeah, I catch you out of here before lunch. Come on. Board office. We'll have Tammy outline just in case. Did they hear me talking? Sometimes you got mine's making me because July 2nd is our letting date on the concrete patching job. Okay. So we have a contract at any time for July. And that would get that rolling very quickly.
Yeah, the reason I asked them the speed deal is they had one right in front of my house, so I was like, oh, they're kind of speed there. I'm gonna go over and like 10 miles an hour is lower than average. So I was like slowing down.
Can I grab you for an interview?
Well, we have people that like to back both ways over them so that they get more counts. Thanks, Keith.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
I lost my
It's interesting.